نوينا 40 واعتكاف خلوة نزل الرياض والسلوك في هذا المسجد، هذا المكان لله تعالى ورضا الله. بركاتنا وصحبه وخير في جميع دار الشافر الأفضل أست. استغفر الله استغفر الله. ألف مليون استغفر الله. They asked to Rabi'atu Adawiyah, while you're sitting all day saying Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah. She said, because I'm not reaching to sincerity yet, ikhlas. Every time I say Astaghfirullah, there's something in it not correct. That Astaghfirullah needs another Astaghfirullah. Therefore she was sitting all day, Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah. Trying to know how, in which state, in which condition Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send the angel of death to take her soul. And she's an example for people, a ghaya, a target. Awliya are not ordinary like us, ordinary people. They were extraordinary. They were hardworking, and they were focused always on their job, trying to reach to perfection and sincerity. They didn't waste their time. Shaykh Hisham told a story of, I think it was Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. He was traveling and he was in the mountains going, and he saw a figure up on the cliff at the mouth of a cave, sitting, making dua, and something inside him said, I have to meet this person, see what's going on with him. He went and spoke to him. He said, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. What you're doing? He said, I'm trying to correct myself and reach to my perfection as a human being, to clean my heart and make myself as Allah created me to be, to complete my mission that we promised to Allah on the day of promises. قال ألست بربكم قالوا بلى وشهدنا. Am I not your Lord? Yes. It's called the day of promises before we came to earth, and we promised so many things to Allah to complete our mission. He said, I'm trying to complete my mission, to be a sincere servant to my Lord. He said, what do you do up here? He said, I'm busy with my dua. I don't have time to do anything else. What you eat up here in this cave? Eat? How am I going to find time for eating when I have this important job left undone? His clothes was ragged. What you wear? He said, how I have time to change my clothes? Where you're living? How I have time to move from this rock to find a place to live? Like that, his answers was like that. How long you've been here? He said, Allah knows best. I think 1,000 years I'm sitting on this rock. He's not taking any care for himself 1,000 years. We can't take care of our job even 1,000 seconds or even 5 seconds. We forget. Quickly we forget our mission. And we get busy with everything else. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barak ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Shaitan busy. Shaitan busy running after all of us. Running after him. Never gets tired. We don't have the himma of Shaitan even. It doesn't leave its job even a second. Even Juj and Majuj. Shaykh Nazim said that Zulkarnain put them behind a wall of ice. I don't know where's that wall of ice. Somewhere. And they're trying to come out into this world to, as Quran says, eat everything softer than stones. One day they'll come. He read from an old book, there's 2 kinds. One is wider than they are tall, one is taller than they are wide. No one of them passes from this world till they leave 7,000 descendants. And they never give up their efforts. Every day they're digging through that ice trying to get out into this world. Every day when it gets dark, they're falling asleep and it freezes over again. Until one day the command will come and that they come out. So you have to be like that. Shaykh Nazim said, be like Juj and Majuj. Strange advice, but it means to be persistent. Evil is persistent, never stops. It's evilness. 24 hours. You wake up in the morning and look at the news and, oh my goodness, what they did last night. They continue to make it worse and worse and worse. What we did in 24 hours to make it better and better? Nothing. 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 So we have to, everyone, their responsibility is on themselves. Prophet ﷺ praying for his nation and awliya praying for their murids, but we have to do something ourselves. Their job of intercession is at the end point. When we're most in difficulty. Until that time, our job is to be hardworking. And their job to encourage us. To make us to work harder. As Sayyidina Sulaiman, he was in command of the jinns. What did he say? Work, ye, you know the ayat? Work, ye, sons of David. Sons of... it was encouraging, work, do. And we have to try to be like them. I'm saying this softball to... my subject is myself. To make myself to work harder. What I did. Muhasabah. Self-accounting. Shaykh Hashem used to say, self-accounting is important in Tariqah. He used to tell us in Rajab, for instance, in time of seclusion, take a notebook and begin to write your mistakes or faults. And try to... We were doing it in Cyprus one year. We were sitting in the guest house in Cyprus. There used to be a place where men was on one floor, women on another floor. It was a big social hall until now the Shaykh stopped it. We're writing our mistakes happily, drinking tea and coffee. And somebody was writing their mistakes and fault, and his brother said, "Let me see that, what you wrote." I said, "Well, come on, let me see it." He gave to him, "It's all you wrote?" It's what I could remember from my mistakes. "No, you have a lot of mistakes. You forgot about it. You forgot this and this and this and this. You're lazy, you're a liar." We have lots of mistakes. We think we're perfect or nearly perfect. No. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us back to work. Eid is finishing. Monday, last day of Eid. Back to work after vacation. Back to work. Our job to try to polish our hearts, to be shining mirrors to reach to reality, to reach to our real selves. Might take our whole lives to reach. We might not reach to the last moment, but we have to be on that job up to the end. Shaitan's job to prevent us from doing our job, to throw every kind of obstacle in our way, prevents us. Quran says, "Inna shaitan lakum aduwwun wattakhidhuhu aduwwa." Shaitan is your enemy. Take it as your enemy. Right? Shaitan doesn't come to say, I'm Shaitan coming to destroy you. It comes to say, I'm your best friend. I'm your advisor. Take Shaitan as your enemy. Take Shaitan as my enemy. Fir'aun, the example of our ego. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He left some people to become huge tyrants. We have now so many evil tyrants, you can't count them. Not one of your army of thousands now. And the worst one, is my ego. I can't do anything about their egos. My worst one, my ego. He was saying to his people, I am your Lord. Inni rabbakum wa Allah. I am the greatest Lord. You have to worship me. Astaghfirullah. Every ego is like that. Our egos are identical twins, Allah used to say. We're alike in our egos. We're individual in our heavenly personalities. We didn't reach to that in our original creation. Each one is unique. But in our ego, the same. Same diseases for egos. You go to a doctor, everyone expects 2 lungs, 1 heart, 1 liver, 2 kidneys. Same, he can treat it. But ego, same. Or spirituality, different. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He left someone like Fir'aun or Nimrod or other big tyrants to go to their limit. Every ego secret target to say, I am God, I am the commander, I am chief. Which one? Fir'aun said, or Nimrod said, Ibrahim or Sayyidina Moses said, my Lord gives life and death. He said, I also give life and death. It's Fir'aun or Nimrod? Nimrod. He said, who is that Lord? He's saying to Ibrahim, my Lord, the one who gives life and death. He said, I also give life and death. He was command anyone to be executed to do. Ibrahim said, my Lord brings the sun to rise in the east. If your Lord, you will bring it to rise in the west. He didn't know what to say, he was angry. Fir'aun, like that, he was also going to his limit. And as Maulana used to tell the story, the thing that made him proud of himself, he was so powerful through his jismi power, bodily power, he didn't need the restroom only 1 time in 40 days. On account of that, he began to think he was great. One day, it was his 40th day, he was in the private king's chamber, most private chamber, thinking how great he was. Coming only one time, 40 days. He heard a voice. Oh, Firaun. Who's that? Who came in here? Who dared to come in here? Oh, Firaun. What you're doing? Look at you there. Sitting there. How you can claim to be a lord for your people? And you're sitting restroom, toilet. Who's that? It was Iblis. It came out and began to show itself. I'm Iblis. I came to show you your mistakes. He's going to help him. What do you mean? And he began to tremble, and his inside began to tremble also. Iblis said, aren't you ashamed to be there like that, dirty, saying people you're the Lord? And every time Iblis spoke, it became bigger and bigger and scarier and scarier, and Firaun was trembling on his restroom, coming. Finally, Firaun said, oh, my helper, thank you for wising me up, for showing me my mistake. You're right, I'm going to change my ways. And he cleaned himself off, and he was going to go out. He had a balcony. He goes out to see his people to stand there. He's going to the balcony, and Iblis says, where are you going? He said, I have to tell my people that I repent, not to call me God anymore, not to call me Lord anymore. I'm only a simple, humble servant. Look, when seeing myself in the restroom like that, how I can claim to be a Lord? I'm nothing, a simple servant. I'm going out to tell my people I was wrong. Worship Allah, don't look at a weak person as God. No, Iblis does his work, and he says, wait, not so fast. First he made him like that. And then, now he puts the finishing touch. It puts the finishing touch. Your people are used to you being Lord. Huh? If you tell them now you're not the Lord, there'll be confusion everywhere. People might kill themselves. People might, who knows what will happen. No, keep it like that. It'll be our secret between us. You're right. He goes back to the okay. This happened. I saw it happen 2 times with famous people. It happened many times with like a pseudo Shaykh. How we can be, say, with his turban, Maulana Shaykh was like that. We saw it. 2 people used the same excuse. One person, he was leading his people to communism in Palestine, time of the Cold War. And he sent a message to Maulana Shaykh asking his support and help for his people. And Maulana Shaykh sent someone, I think it was Shaykh Hisham, to say, Shaykh is saying how he can make dua for you and your cause when you're calling people to communism that denies the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that person answered, well, my people are accustomed. If I change the way, people will be in confusion. Same answer. And in Chicago, same thing. One person was leading his people on, he had a whole book to follow instead of the Quran. he made a whole story for the people. When Shaykh said to him, why you don't call them to Islam? And he was claiming to be Muslim. He said, no, my people are used to like this. What if I change them? So our ego is like that, sneaky. And Shaitan's sneaky to give the bad advice. And the ego takes Shaitan's bad advice like the honey. They say the speaker, his words, the words of the speaker for the one who's speaking, is Shaitan's honey. He's happy. People are making dua. Oh my Lord, make him to shut up. It's enough. 1 hour, 2 hours. And the speaker is speaking. May Allah forgive us. It's enough. It's enough. We're far away from being as those awliya. We have to renew our intention to follow them. We can't be like them. Quran says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, how's the first part? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, taqullah wa kunu ma'a sadiqin. Fear Allah. You can't be a great one, but try to be with sadiqin. Don't say you're sadiqin. Don't say you're Shaykh, your kutub, your nothing, but we're asking to be with them, to follow them. And then follow those words with action. Try to do it. Try to sit with your Shaykh by day and by night. Try to be with him. Especially the time of difficulty, especially the time of anger. How many times a day? Shaitan saying, it's our secret. It's like that. We have to reset our intention every day. I'm intending to follow my Shaykh. I'm intending to follow my Prophet to my Lord's divine presence, to reach what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created me as, to be his Khalifatullah. Shaykh said, when you complete your candidacy, he gives you a world to be his deputy, private for you, no partners for you. Ask yourself, we reach that condition or no? No. Therefore, we have to go back to the beginning and be like Rabi'a to Alawiyah. Astaghfirullah. No, that astaghfirullah was not sincere. Astaghfirullah once again. We'll continue and set our steps to try and correct ourselves. Wa min Allah tawfiq bi hurmatil Fatiha. May he help us. Shaykh is there. What's Sahib al-Imdad? Madad al-Haqq. Madad for what? Madad to correct our steps. To make us aware of our mistake and to try to correct it. And to work harder. Fatiha. We didn't reach to real Eid. Real Eid for the one who completed 40 days away from his ego or her ego. Fasting from bad speaking, from bad thinking, from bad looking, from bad imagining, from bad everything. From wasted time, from idle time, from malayani, what doesn't concern us, so many things. Who completed 40 days with 40 watchers watching you, unseen, checking on everything. That is correct. They reached to Eid, real Eid. For us, it's temporary Eid, Ruqsa Eid, and now back to work once again. Bihurmat Habib, Bihurmat al-Fatiha. What was page 1 of the workbook? Don't get angry. But what about the rest of the work? I took a book, J.G. Bennett, to Cyprus one time. It has the 11 or 12 principles of Naqshbandi. Khalwat in the crowd, awareness of breath, journey to the homeland, 12 high principles. I showed the book to Malana Sheikh. I think he's going to explain. He weighed the book. Very good, you can use it to keep the door open or keep it from slamming. And he looked, he saw Ahmad Yasawi's holy name. Yasawi, mashallah. And he looked and he came to a part as if he's trying to understand what he's saying. What's this say? The murid at the beginning must be very careful to control his anger. He said, I'm good. He closed the book. But what about the 12 precepts? You can't reach even one precept until you did this one. You can't pray until you clean yourself. Isn't it? Wa min Allah tawfiq. Let the speaker take lesson. Fatih. Amin. Ashhadu an la ilaha